In this video, I will share my biggest tips for those who are feeling stuck, because trust me, I know that feeling. I have dealt with that probably 90% of my life, but you're like at the age of like 16 now, I have struggled with so much that, I feel like I'm able to share like some tips and tricks, like how to solve that like stuckness in your life, because it really does suck. But literally, it like breaks down into such simple fucking things that literally solve it almost every single time. Kind of depends on the issue, but like most of the time, it's literally like some very simple concepts that you need to do in order to get your life moving again. And yeah, and let's just get into the fucking video. So the first tip that I'm telling is that always like exercise. Literally, like whenever I'm feeling stuck, I literally go on a walk and I immediately feel better. So anytime working out, also it's just like literally such a simple fucking thing. But like working out does not only benefit your physical like well-being, but it also benefits your social, your mental, like everything. So many aspects of your life can be fixed literally by just working out. And it's so simple because it doesn't have to be like going to the gym, like multiple hours a day. But no, just go on a 30-minute walk with your favorite podcast in your ears, or like your confidence boost music, and that's it. Do that for 30 minutes. You instantly feel so much better. And well, obviously, like one fucking walk is not gonna solve your like feeling stuck. But once it becomes a habit, it really is such a good escape of like the hard thoughts of like your actual like life, because it is an escape from the reality. And also when you have done it consistently, it also, because it's a rhythm, and all rhythms are basically like the key to like success. Like specific patterns, rhythms, like routines, like they are literally the key to everything. Because you're like, once you have done it like that, you, for example, like every day go on a 30-minute walk. You don't have to, but if you do, like the actual like benefits that it gives you, like short term and long term, are genuinely so insane. And only from like one walk, literally, like I asked ChatGPT. I know ChatGPT don't use that shit, but like I asked it, like list all the benefits of like a 30-minute walk. That list was fucking endless. It was like so many things that you can get from 30-minute walk, that it's actually like mind-blowing. And like I truly believe that like working out is literally like a fucking medicine. And it's so crazy because it's free too. It's like a fucking free medicine. So your mental, like your mental brain is not gonna feel well if the other parts of your like body are not gonna feel well. Like, so the best way to also train your mind is to train your other body. And also, if you specifically want to train your like brain, meditation. Literally, it's actually also fucking insane like how much meditation can do. I mean, like for some people it's just like I get nothing out of this. But once you do it like consistently too, it really like helps you answer so many questions, because you're like, I've had like a lot of questions in my life that I'm just like, oh, like what am I supposed to do? Like why am I like this? You're like, how can I fix this? How am I gonna change? Like meditation is literally okay. Like if you do 5-minute meditation, yeah, it's not gonna fix your life. You're like not gonna get all the answers to your questions. But the more you do it, and the more often you do it, and the more like consistently you do it, it genuinely helps you like see life from like a different perspective that you've never seen before. Because like usually we see life from like first person perspective, but after you've done meditation for a while, you literally see everything from third person. That is also has a little bit to do with like with the third eye, like all the chakras. If you believe in that, I don't know, but if that helps you, like definitely do that. But it definitely helps you like see everything from like objective kind of point of view. So that also helps to recognize the problem better. And like this is really good, because like no matter like if you're feeling stuck, is it like short term, or is it like a bigger issue that's behind that has made like is like related to your childhood, for example, trauma, so many like complicated things that like are like these factors that might be the causation of like this current like situation that you have going on and why you're feeling stuck like that. Sometimes it's like a really simple thing, and you're like, usually if it's a simple thing, if you just have like all like the basic pillars of your life in a good aspect, then it's like literally gonna solve itself. Like time is gonna solve itself. But if it's like a deep rooted issue, especially meditation is like such a great way to see it from a new perspective that you may have not seen before. And obviously therapists, but I understand like not many people have money for therapy, and like it is kind of hard in a specific sense to talk about your personal life to a person who you never have talked to before, and especially because it costs money. If I were to go to meditation, I don't feel like I could do it because it could just cost so much money. So you're like, when you're going there, you just like know that, okay, like I spent like $100 on this, and you're like but if you've done it and it helped, do that too. And then also I would recommend just doing like simple things that, you know, these like skills specifically, because you know there's just so many skills in this life that you can literally learn by watching like 5-minute video or listening to a 15-minute TED talk. Like for example, I listened to this one TED talk recently, like how to make good decisions. Like it like although it didn't like concretely like help my life in a specific sense, but it definitely gave me confidence on like making hard decisions, you know. And also like other skills too. You literally like internet is free, so literally like, and YouTube is free, watching this video is free, subscribing my channel is free, like in this video. But you know, you can just find so much information nowadays from the internet, and it's literally like a 5-minute YouTube video can like literally teach you like a new fucking skill, like to solve a Rubik's Cube. And now, yes, it may not like solve like, okay, like if you have a deep trauma, like, okay, like, and you're feeling stuck because of that, you know, like solving a Rubik's Cube. But definitely when you have a lot of skills and, you know, you can learn them very easily from like YouTube. And especially like if you learn like specific ones, like how to make friends better, how to be a better conversational, like, you know, like at keeping conversations, and you know, like how to sell stuff, like all like actually like good, like useful stuff. You know, it doesn't have to be like watching a YouTube video. It can be like reading a book, searching through the internet, asking AI, you know, anything. But you know, like just like once you learn new skills, it like genuinely is like, it's kind of like different islands that you discover. But once you've discovered so many of them, it's like you're able to build these like bridges in between them and to the mainland, which is like your life, you know. And it just helps so much to like use that information in your current life. And yes, well, again, it doesn't like, may not be like the key solver to any specific situation, but once you have those specific skill sets, it helps you overcome an issue. Like no matter the issue, like it genuinely helps so much. And it just like also boosts your confidence and your motivation. Like it's gonna go up, which obviously always in harsh situations when you're feeling stuck, it always helps. So, and also it makes you feel like you know something, especially when you're like feeling stuck. If you just learn like one new skill every day, maybe it like takes like 20 minutes, you know, to actually like learn like, I don't know, like a math formula or something like that, you know. But once you like learn stuff, new stuff every single day, it genuinely like feels like you have progressed in some way, you know. For example, for me, it's like mainly these YouTube videos because like, especially now that it's summer, we don't have school. So I'm feeling kind of stuck because you're like, I'm just like, okay, like I'm not like doing anything in my life. But you know, like genuinely when I make these like YouTube videos, it makes me feel like, okay, I've done something today. I have done something. I have contributed like something to the world, you know? Versus if I were to just like watch my phone, it would like feel like, so I would feel like a useless person. So definitely when you like learn new skills, or especially like a language is definitely like one of the best things ever, because it's like, it opens literally like a new fucking like society, like new whole world. Because you know, like English is not my first language. The fact that I can like communicate with people in English, the fact that I can like speak in English, the fact that I can like consume English stuff, it like helps me like helped me so much. And for example, now I'm studying Chinese. So every single day I try to study like 20 Chinese words. So every single day it feels like I've progressed a little bit. You know, like I can always speak a little bit better every single day. I get better and better and better every single day. So that also helps when you're feeling stuck, because you can like concretely see that, okay, I am getting better at this, especially because language is like a thing that you use and you consume, and like it's genuinely like a useful thing. So it's really easy to see when you have actually like learned something in it. So it definitely helps with that feeling of like, okay, like I have not done anything today, like done today. So that is one huge thing. And then also I would recommend like just talking to people, because you know, like, although, well, it's kind of hard because you know, like, not many people like have people to talk to, and that is hard, especially because when you're feeling stuck, it's easy to like go on this like that you're kind of like locking yourself out of from other people, because it's like a hard psychological thing. But you know, like, because then other people don't see it, because it's easy to see like, or like to think that way, that you know, like, if your life is not going well, other people are going to see it too. And it's easy to think that, okay, like, I'm not gonna talk to anyone, I'm just like gonna keep myself over here in my own little home, like between four walls, so nobody can see me. And then you know, it like makes you like somehow you feel better, because you know, like, nobody's there to see your failure. But if you just talk to people, you can learn so much from them. Okay, why am I like speaking like, okay, like I'm a teacher or something? But you know, like, generally, like, simple like conversations with other people are like, you know, they are like such a confidence boost, because you know, like, honestly, me, like, I'm not a good conversation, like, I'm very awkward of a person. And basically every single conversation that I've had in my life, I've always done something embarrassing, like in the beginning of them, in the middle, or at the end. I somehow always manage to embarrass myself. But even if I do, once the conversation is done, it makes me feel like happy that I actually threw myself out there. And especially those times when like that conversation actually goes well, it is actually one of the best feelings in this whole fucking world, aside from, you know, like, okay, well, I'm not gonna say that, but you know, it's such a good feeling and such a rewarding thing in general. So that is definitely like a huge thing to recommend. And then also, I gotta say this now, because you know, like, these three things are literally like the key to every single aspect of your life. Like, no matter what the problem is, no matter how huge, how little, but if you have these three things that I'm gonna list now, if you have these three things, like, you can handle them. It's like, it's much easier to solve the other ones, because these are like the main three things that you have to do in life in order to live a happy life. Now, you might still have some issues, but it's much easier to solve them. So these three things are: eat healthily and consistently and enough, not too much, enough. And then the other one is work out, move, whatever it is you want to move, however you want to move, do that, but just move. And then the last one, rest, sleep, 8 hours a day. You know, like, once you have those three things, so like eat, move, sleep, once those are like good in your life, the rest will come way easier, especially in a situation where you're feeling stuck. It usually is actually rooted within like one of these three problems, like one of these three things. You're like, you have definitely like some of these, it's like you're not doing it correctly. Now, there are like times when you actually, let me contradict myself. You know, like, because especially if you have like a dramatic moment in your life, for example, like a close one dies, even like you might do these like perfectly, but you still have that issue, right? But especially when you have a deep-rooted issue that has lasted for a very long time, it's much easier to recognize the problem and solve it once you have these three like main things in your life. And also, when you have a problem, it's very easy that it's like getting into this paradox where it just like boosts itself, kind of like climate change. You know, you have a problem, then you get another problem, and that boosts the original problem, and you're in this like cycle that it just like keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. But once you have like these three like the main things correctly, yes, the other ones may go like how they go, but eventually things are gonna calm down if you just have these three things. Because you know, like, especially like, although like there are times when like things are harder and like when things are easier, but really to just keep things moving, you know. It's really eat, sleep, move. Yes. And drink, but you know, like water or smoothies. So yeah, I don't know. How many tips did I just give? I mean, I've been talking for 50 minutes. I guess I hopefully helped someone. So hopefully like this video helped at least in some way. Like at least like one tip out of these tips. I don't know how many tips did I just say. I honestly didn't plan this video at all. I literally improvised, you know, like the minute I like started. Yeah. But hopefully like one of these tips like helped you, like genuinely. Because if it was just like one tip, it still helps you. So, and well, why did I say that? Okay, I know I don't usually edit my videos, so I'm not gonna edit this either, but well. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.